Ladies and gentlemen, a little quote for the start. The science of today is the technology of tomorrow. While from Edward Teller, because he was the inventor of the hydrogen bomb, may well differ, his quote on the impact of science is fitting. The prevailing coronavirus pandemic has highlighted how important science can be for the survival of our society. In the early pandemic, we craved for information virus. We were thinking, how do we protect ourselves from the virus? How can it be contracted? And how do we treat the infected? Within a matter of just weeks and months, knowledge was quickly obtained and scientific research also corrected itself and proved that earlier assumptions were incorrect in some cases. Thanks to research-based knowledge and the coronavirus vaccines developed very fastly based such knowledge, our society is now gradually opening up after lengthened period of exceptional circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, we have convened today to discuss the impact of science. The Finnish state established the Finnish Research Impact Foundation in 2019 with the aim of strengthening research so that the business community and researchers can cooperate more effectively. The purpose of the foundation is to accelerate Finnish business life using cutting-edge research. If cooperation between business life and higher education institutions were essential before the coronavirus pandemic, it is now even more imperative. The world that is opening up to after the pandemic is not the same as the one where we heard first news about this horrible disease in Wuhan. Much has changed. During the past 18 months, we have lived life that we could never have conceived, maybe in science fiction, but not in the real life, really exceptional circumstances. Before the coronavirus pandemic, the Finnish central government explored the potential of location-independent work, remote work, and at the time, many ministries had reservations. We thought that it is not possible to work in our homes or in different places than the traditional working places. Then, in a matter of few months, when the pandemic started, everyone was working in different locations. So, impossible came very fastly possible. With COVID-19 having shifted the world into a new position, the key question now is how will Finland cope in the changed world? The answer is clear. I think it's clear. By means of skills and competence and by being inventive. This calls for good quality conditions for both research activities and business operations in our country. Public funding, I consider it very important that in its budget session, the Finnish government was able to find a way to secure the level of funding for science and research to the next budgetary year, to year 2022. Among important decisions was also the one on the so-called D visa, which makes it easier for international talents to enter our country. This is among the decisions aiming to ease the skill shortages experienced by very many companies in various business fields. We have also been able to ensure a stable operating environment for companies when it comes, for example, to taxation. However, more measures are needed and a solution to issues such as funding for science is currently being sought in a parliamentary RDI committee and in other parliamentary work with RDI. Public funding has been and will be an instrumental in boosting cooperation between the business community and actors involved in research and higher education. However, money alone cannot respond to the challenges of future. We also need financing models that create interaction and trust and support sustained cooperation. One way to advocate cooperation is the national RDI roadmap. The roadmap has already created new partnership models for collaboration between companies and actors involved in research, and a total of over 230 million was spent on pilot projects in 2020. Huge commitment. The funding instruments in the partnership model formed between the Academy of Finland and Business Finland have proven suitable for different impact partnerships too. Moreover, the tax deduction for RDI projects also supports this objective. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a lot of discussion in recent weeks on what topics should be addressed using public funding and what areas of research our finite joint resources should be spent. In this debate, measuring the impact of science is really essential and central. However, the objective of this debate is not very simple. Since the world and our everyday life is no laboratory, verification of causal relationships may essentially be impossible. Research draws on its predecessors, so it is difficult to ascribe impact specifically to a given study. Research both cumulates, that is, builds on existing knowledge and corrects itself. The impact of research consists of the direct and indirect effects of research, which benefit society, the environment, and the economy, as well as well-being of citizens. While research has many types of direct outcomes, its impact often only becomes apparent to the longer term, and that's why it is more difficult to foretell. We can never fully know what kind of research will be needed next in the future. Changes are so fast. And which research groups' findings that may have emerged as a byproduct may turn out to be the next invention that will revolutionize the world. In this new situation, a study that has previously played a secondary role may increase in importance beyond all recognition. Science generates surprises also. Research on coronavirus and the knowledge and competence needed to develop the coronavirus vaccines did not start from scratch. It was the fruit of decades of research on viruses and the evolution of vaccine research methods. The COVID-19 vaccines could not have been developed so rapidly had we not had in-depth knowledge of coronaviruses and an understanding how this research could be used to stem the pandemic caused by the novel, bright new coronavirus type. In other words, the impact of science and the freedom of science are not opposites, just like basic research and applied research are not the opposite. Both are necessary. There can't be any applied research without the basic research, and the basic research is useless if there is no bridges to the applied research. Ladies and gentlemen, even though it is difficult to measure the impact of research, impact is nonetheless an essential objective that we should advocate and keep on discussing. Since its inception only a short while ago, the Finnish Research Impact Foundation has already carried out significant work to increase the impact of research, both through funding and by participating in a public debate on the subject. This is exactly what the government aimed to achieve a few years ago when it decided to set up and capitalize this foundation. I like to congratulate all you and wish every success and good luck to the new Tandem Industry Academia projects received funding.